Using their strong imaginations, Twain, the writer, and Tesla, the inventor, rebelled against the conventional attitude that literature and science are opposed. The more salient view was captured in a poem by the British writer at the same time, Rudyard Kipling. His famous Ballad of East and West of 1889 defines the ambition of both Twain and Tesla, synthesis, and provides the title for this presentation. Oh, east is east and west is west, and never the twain shall meet. But there is neither east nor west, border, nor breed, nor birth, when two stand face to face, though they come from the ends of the earth. This 1870 adage by Mark Twain defines that synthesis. It says it all. An inventor is a poet, a true poet, and nothing less than a high order of poet. In his 1919 autobiography, Nicola Tesla recorded the power of his imagination years earlier in Budapest in 1882, when he was 26, in resolving what had been a puzzle about the practical use of electricity. These lines of poetry from Goethe's Faust I had memorized as a child. The glow retreats, done is the day of toil. It yonder hastes, new fields of life exploring. Ah, that no wing can lift me from the soil, upon its track to follow soaring. A glorious dream, though now the glories fade. Alas, the wings that lift the mind, no aid of winds to lift the body can bequeath me. As I uttered these inspiring words, the idea came like a flash of lightning, and in an instant the truth was revealed. With irony, Tesla here records his imaginative power rising above the earthbound limits of Goethe's thinking, allowing the idea of the alternating current motor to come like a flash. And so, AC/DC, high voltage. Tesla also recorded his first encounter with another writer, Mark Twain, in 1870 when he was 14, and then his first real encounter with Twain in 1891. I was prostrated with a dangerous illness. In my condition became so desperate that I was given up by the physicians. During this period, I was permitted to read constantly. One day, I was handed a few volumes of new literature, unlike anything I had ever read before, and so captivating as to make me utterly forget my hopeless state. They were the earlier works of Mark Twain, and to them might have been due the miraculous recovery which followed. Years later, when I met Mr. Clemens and we formed a friendship between us, I told him of the experience and was amazed to see that great man of laughter burst into tears. And there's a picture of Twain, but also of Tesla, 1856 to 1943, a Serbian who grew up in Croatia and immigrated to the United States in 1884 at the age of 28. He became a citizen in 1891. The same year, he met Mark Twain and invented the Tesla coil, his most renowned invention. What follows here are several pages of public images and books about Twain and Tesla, which testify to the popularity and fame of these two Americans, author and inventor. Time magazine covers, stamps, and book covers, books on the two of them. The autobiography of 1992, but then Debbie Elliott's book, and then 3 or 4 more books following that. Then page 16, these two prominent contemporaneous Americans admired each other. Rich in imagination and creativity, they traveled backward and forward in time, far beyond their real lives in the late 19th, early 20th century. Here's what Tesla said about how this his out-of-the-world experience began. It speaks for Twain too. No device was invented to travel to another time. Traveling in time was imaginative, in my mind, as Tesla put it. In my boyhood, I suffered from a peculiar affliction due to the appearance of images, often accompanied by strong flashes of light. To free myself of these tormenting appearances, I instinctively commenced to make excursions beyond the limits of the small world of which I had knowledge. And I saw new scenes. I soon discovered that my best comfort was attained if I simply went on in my vision farther and farther, getting new impressions all the time. And so I began to travel, of course, in my mind. There's a picture then of Twain in Tesla's New York lab in 1894. It was published in 1895. Tesla's on the left. You can see him just on the left behind Twain. We can get a charge out of this image, I think. Either AC or DC. Twain is holding a loop of bare wire. The currents induced in the loop by a resonating coil over which the wire is held go through Twain's body, and at the same time, as the currents pass between his bare hands, they bring two lamps to bright incandescence. Amazing as it is, these currents, of a voltage 100 times as high as what is employed in electrocution, do not injure Twain in the slightest. The extremely high tension of the currents which Twain is receiving prevents them from doing any harm to him. Robert Frost's famous 1915 poem, Two Roads, expresses a counter-synopsis of the roads taken by Tesla and Twain, inventor and writer. Frost's poem extols the conventional, individualism, separatism and separation, fission. But if adapted just so, the poem can illuminatingly be shown to rebel against the conventional, to depict instead Twain's and Tesla's imaginative, creative strength in gaining fusion. As Kipling proved, the twain shall meet. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both and be one traveler. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other, as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though, as for that, the passing there had warned them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. I left the first to choose its day, since, knowing how way leads on to way, sure I was the first would bend toward the second's track. I shall be telling this with a smile somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads, diverging in a wood for a while, merged, and in a fresh, clear-eyed style, revealed their unity, which makes all the difference. And